As Dr. Sharad Kohli mentioned, Nigeria is a large economy. It's bigger than Pakistan is, and it's got a population slightly less than that of Pakistan and an economy which is bigger than that of Pakistan. So just to give a perspective of what's the size we're talking about, and as Dr. Kohli mentioned, unlike Pakistan, Nigeria has something very, very critical, which is oil. We do need that energy. Now, unfortunately, not all of our refineries are aligned to the kind of oil that Nigeria produces, but that's just a matter of technicality, and those issues can be resolved over a period of time. If we can get cheaper energy, cheaper resources, that's critical from an Indian perspective. Reciprocally, it's important for Nigeria to get plugged in one of the largest economies in the world, which is India. So we are a fast-growing economy. I think by now we have become fourth largest in the midst of FY25. We have beaten Japan in terms of size of economy, and Nigeria does need that. So it's a very symbiotic relationship that we are talking about. In addition, if you look at the Loboto Trans-African Railway that's being funded by US, it's connecting to the West Coast, which is quite close to where Nigeria is. And that's going to enable the transport of critical minerals, of minerals that are important for the green energy sector, and so on and so forth. And therefore, it's important to have a good working economic and geopolitical relationship in Nigeria. Also, the fact that there is a churn happening in Africa. If you look at the larger part of Africa, it's very definitively moving away from the colonial clutches. If you look at most post-colonial nations, they were still under the colonial clutches, even though the military powers had gone. Now, in Africa, we see that they are throwing out that neo-colonial yoke and are asserting themselves. In that context, it becomes very important for India to develop not just Nigeria, but also have a good relationship with the rest of Africa. I think moving forward also, we need to be careful that we don't fall into the kind of relationship trap that we have fallen into with, say, Nepal or other neighboring countries that we have, in spite of the best efforts of the government. So it's important that the industries, the businesses are aligned to what the government is trying to achieve, because at the end of the day, it is necessary and important for the Indian economy that we align with Nigeria, and the other way around, that given that Nigeria is going through a tough time from an economic perspective, India definitely will provide that support, as India has done to other countries such as Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, and so on repeatedly, Maldives. Nigeria will definitely find support from India, and India has that capability to extend the support with no strings attached, unlike many of the other economic powers who provide all kinds of, they provide the aid with all kinds of strings attached. Also, I would like to remark that, traditionally Africa is called the dark continent. From an Indian perspective, it's actually Latin America and South America, which really is the dark continent. So I would like to add my 2 bits over here, that after Africa, I think it's important that we also start opening up similar relationships which are deep in nature in the South American continent.